Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 4pixels. Coco and Kanetsu are here, and we are continuing Pyre, where it looks like the next liberation rite might already be happening.
Oh, who are we gonna choose?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh no.
Let's see who are gonna. I'm pretty sure it's the Essence.
No, they're too strong.
Oh, it's the Fate!
No! You were the last people I wanted to fight. Not the doggos.
That's what we get for putting them off.
Oh.
The Fate are led by the Cur Dalbert Odeheart. Your record against them is 1-0. The rites are calling you again to the fall of Solium, where one among you may go free, should you prevail. It is as we discussed. The cycle of the rites is beginning to turn more quickly. Perhaps the scribes themselves have taken notice. Oop, and now Discord stopped. What is happening today? So many things. Let me check if... Oh, well, at least action is still going on. Wait a second. There he is.
I'm back.
What is going on today?
I have no
Is it blurry?
No, it's perfectly fine.
Okay. Fortunately, having more frequent opportunities to free ourselves is not unwelcome to our plan. I suppose it's good for everyone, including the Fate who will oppose us next. Getting to Mount Elodio ought to be a little easier than before at least. We should be able to make landing near to some of the old monuments to the scribes. Let us set forth at dawn. Whew. Soon everyone is off to rest as best as they are able, knowing that another chance at liberty for one of them shall soon present itself. You approach Jadario, who seems to be busy explaining something to Sir Gilman.
And so, fainting left against them proves to be reliable. They all lead with their right wings when they choose to strike. They are quick, but can leave themselves quite vulnerable. Such sage counsel, madam! This knight feels most emboldened should he ever again be forced to confront the high-wing remnants in single combat. Pray you never shall. Being here, I suppose it is unlikely.
She notices you then.
Reader, the good knight and I were just comparing survival strategies we picked up on the blood border. Reminiscing on old times, it could be called. Indeed! The good Jodario has volunteered to become this knight's master-at-arms should we ever achieve our liberty together! And this knight humbly accepted.
I love it.
God, they're cute! What? I said no such thing. I owe you nothing, worm. Ah, but the finest lessons are the harshest made, madam. This knight is overjoyed that you would thusly train him as your protege. Reader, spare me, please.
You somehow manage to steer the subject back to military tactics.
This knight is most impressed with your familiarity with the finer points of being sliced to ribbons by the high-wing remnants, Master Reader.
Sir Gilman and Jadario continue the conversation for some time. You sense they are in relatively good spirits, all things considered. Okay.
The downside is connected to our realm via a single artery, the river named for our prestigious SAP colleague, Luz Sklorian. That river gushes into seeming nothingness. That seeming nothingness turns out, of course, to be the downside. Its existence undermines thousands of years of thought about the composition of our world. The downside southern edge we call the Sandfolds. It is a desecrated wasteland, speaking well to this land's lack of hospitality. There, the strength of many who survived the river journey finally fails. If only they could clamber further north, where lies the verdant downside prairie. A better place to perish, to be sure. Did that one.
Okay.
The serpent titan Gandroth turned to brittle stone not long after his death. Of that you may be certain. What remains is a flat, elevated basin that stands us closer to the heavens. Upon the fallen Gandroth's hide, the stars themselves alight, and you shall know you stand on sacred ground. We set the metal it's sigils, right?
I think it's sigil.
Sigils?
I think so.
We set the metal sigils, lit the candle flames, and we emblazoned?
Yep.
Yeah. And we emblazoned on the rock-like forms the sigil of our passage to and from this land, and then, the stars themselves, they did reply to us. They sang, shining bright, their voices loud and clear. We understood their cadence, and we knew how often to return. Those bearing the name the Chastity all count themselves disciples of Luz Sklorian, the 100 Minds, known firstly for his wisdom, but also cherished for his modesty, integrity, and kinship. Sklorian's priority in forming his triumvirate was to instill in all his subjects a deep-seated deference and respect for the rules governing the liberation cycle. The cycle of the rites needs to be respected to be understood, and needs to be understood to be respected, Sklorian said. Thus, the Chastity are emissaries of the cycle. Should they earn back their liberty, then they shall spread enlightenment itself, and all of us shall glow. Grow! Not glow.
Glam up. Alrighty. Alright, Emperor's Fall. You sense headwind shall gain favor from the scribes if you land here. So... Well, I guess we should start thinking about who we want to...
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to assume that Pamathot and Gilman probably still don't have enough enlightenment to be able to
head off.
to be chosen, anointed. Which means our choices are Hedwyn, Dario, Ruki, Ray. Am I missing someone? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think that's everybody.
Yeah, so.
Well, I mean, you wanted to keep the main four together until, like, the very end, right?
Yeah. But like one thing I'm also wondering is if different characters raise the percentage of the planned success more than others.
Oh.
So, and I also do want,
Mm.
yeah, I don't know. Cause,
Well, I feel like at this point, I think we could probably just go with Ray.
okay, so it doesn't really matter too much.
Right.
Let's go give it to Ruki. Alright, I have to actually go over there. You make landing on the sacred Mount Elodial, upon whose summit the next liberation rite shall soon take place. You wonder who among you may regain his or her freedom this time. Wilfred finds you after the post-flight inspection. We shall have to take the rest of the trip to Sval Solium by land. May we soon liberate another of our own there. That should raise the chances that our plan shall ultimately succeed. Sorry, pardon me. Oh. Seek the harp scribe's favor? Oh, okay. I want to check something. Alright, so he's nearly at 4. Your horns are kind of blocking the way. Let's see, what does it say? 5,250. His is 4,500. And 3,850. And hers is 4,000. 3,400. Oh, maybe. Because then you also have to consider, like, story-wise. Dario's been down here for ages. Hedwyn has, oh, what was her name? That harpy girlfriend.
Yeah, I forget
Ruki
what
has
her name
his
is.
mother. Gilman doesn't seem to want out yet. Neither does Pamitha, and Ray kind of seems to not mind, but she would probably like to reunite with Diesel. Since they were really good friends.
And, like, I feel like she doesn't really have much. Like, she's kind of there. Right?
Yeah.
Like, with everyone else, they've got, like, so much going on, and then Ray is just kind of, like, doing her thing.
Ray seems very in touch with the 8 scribes.
Yeah.
And, like, another thing that because one of the reasons, aside from just wanting, like, to not be left with characters that were difficult for me to play, was that as an imp, Diesel was something new to the Commonwealth, and I felt in that way that he would be a challenge towards them to start thinking in new ways. And the only reason that Ray is down here is because apparently they have issues with people who have a different mental process than others. So in that regard, she could also be a challenge to them.
Mm-hmm. And it could give them, like, ideas of what's down here.
Yeah. Still don't know, though.
Right. Like, I don't want any of them to go. But if I had to absolutely choose, like, I would just choose Ray.
Later that day, you accompany Ruki into the solemn beauty of Emperor's Ascent, where a monument to Triesta Tethys awaits you. Perhaps due to the nature of this place, you begin to sense Ruki's inner thoughts, as clear as if he were speaking aloud.
Ah, so you scribes people, can you hear me okay? If you can you do me a solid and let me get out of here already? My family can't do nothing without me, and they've been waiting for a while now.
Oh, well now.
No!
Soon you and he are finished paying your respects. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Triesta Tethys has shown you favor. At dawn, you begin your ascent. For now, the solitude here is fit for pursuing your vocations. Ruki gain +2 quickness for the next rite. Accept the blessing. Oh, let's go inside first. He seems to have something on his mind. You find Ruki having just put back his Greentail family portrait. Just hurt us.
Lay it on us more, huh? Make it more obvious what you want us to do.
There is something of a wistful look in his eyes. Then something comes over him and he moves in close, lowering his voice.
Look, chum, I gotta level with you about something here real quick. Truth is that I haven't been entirely upfront with you about my family situation.
He hesitates a while, then...
We ain't exactly quite as rich as I've been letting on. I mean, we do just fine, and we got lots of money stored away, it's just mostly locked up in savings bonds, and...
He seems to catch himself in the middle of another tall tale, and relents before you can respond one way or another.
The situation is my mom back on the other side. She needs a little bit of help, financially and otherwise. All she's got now are my knuckle-headed uncles to keep her steady. Always told her I'd make something of myself, you know. I was just a clicker in her shop. Things started getting tough for us, so I started looking for all kinds of different work. Got in with some unseemly sorts, I guess, but the pay was real good. You took to shipping certain types of stuff down here, of all places. Flushing it straight down the river, watertight. The pay was right. Mom was so proud of me. We were eating real good all the time. But you can probably guess what happened. I barely scraped by after they flushed me down here. Would have been food for a bunch of howlers had Jody not bailed me out of a tough spot one fine evening. As for my mom, she doesn't know half of it. My uncle's told me on business. She doesn't even know!
Oh my god!
Okay, you need to go home.
Yeah.
Not entirely untrue, I guess, but if she knew, it'd break her poor heart. How long has he been down here? So... Don't know how else to put this, chum, but I want to get out of here. Get back to what I was doing back home, on the straight and narrow, though. I'd go straight this time for sure. Just don't go telling everyone that old Rookie Greentail's just a mama's boy, okay? I got a certain reputation to uphold.
Aww.
Okay, you gotta go home. Go home.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be paying me so fucking much, but yeah. Well, at least we have our decision now.
Yeah.
Aww. Kimui's gonna be so sad too. He quickly scampers out the door. His past has been weighing heavily on him, but you sense he was sincere about wishing to lead an honest life. Let's see how... Yeah. Roster bio updated. He's been
4
here...
years? No?
Oh.
Rookie, go home!
Rookie, go home! We're sending you home. He's an opportunistic and well-connected cur, still clinging to his once comfortable lifestyle. Swift dog-like creatures, yep. Trafficker dealing with contraband for long enough can lead to making strange acquaintances, RK. Suggesting he is active and outgoing. Smuggling. He was involved in an illegal operation shipping contraband to the downside. So he was helping people in the downside.
Right.
Wow. Self-gain. The records state he sought to undermine the social fabric of the Commonwealth. He barely made a living as a trader in the Commonwealth, trying to provide for an aging mother and several good-for-nothing uncles, until he found a much more lucrative clientele among those exiled to the downside. To them he would ship various commodities, but just as things were looking up, he was finally caught and cast down the river. Thereafter Jadario saved him from a pack of howlers he promised to repay her.
Now go home.
I'm very curious about. I know that we had that imp who brought us the letter, but so do they just like have a bunch of imps that can carry stuff?
Yeah.
All right. Study in private. Let's see. 2 of 2. Alright. Let's see how much your exiles deal to Pyre. Let's go with this. Oh, we can't do that.
What?
I guess we can't do the grayed out ones? I don't know why.
Oh. Oh, does it have a thing at the bottom saying what we need to get?
Master the other aspects of the books to unlock this, and we've mastered that one.
Oh, okay.
Increase the size of your fellow exiles' aura, or bring them back more quickly.
I think bringing them back more quickly is better.
Okay. You concentrate on the substance of the words and teachings of the Book of Rites, such as you understand them thus far. Inspiration comes to you in a flash, whether from the book or from within, you cannot tell. You gain the reader's influence spirit. Ooh. Temple High Road. You sense Sir Gilman shall gain favor from the scribes along this route. Who do we want to use? Since this is a liberation, right? I'm better at Pamatha, so let's go here.
So cute.
It is. On the way to the summit, you pass a moment to Under King Oris, and Pamatha happens to take notice. You wish for good fortune in the coming rite and in your plans. As for Pamatha...
Talking to the dead again, Pamatha. Fine, why not? Ought to keep your mind off things. Just don't go getting your hopes up. Your life back there, it wouldn't be any better anyway.
She says little after paying her respects. However, as you prepare to continue your ascent, you send the Under King Oris has shown you favor. +3 glory for the next rite. Ooh, that's damage. You and your companions gather once again at the Scribe's Gate, where a single narrow trail leads upward towards the summit, past an archway carved of stone. Come this way, please. The minstrel leads you towards the archway, where his counterpart awaits.
The exiles of the Nightwings have returned.
They have. Greetings, Celeste. She all but ignores him and motions the rest of you.
Now then, each of you in turn, please state your name and what it is you seek while crossing Scribe's Gate.
Please, do just as she says. Everyone steps forth, one after another, much like before. Hedwyn passes through the gate. Sir Gilman passes through the gate. Ray passes through the gate. Pamitha passes through the gate. Chidario passes through the gate. Ruki passes through the gate. Wolfred passes through the gate. No one is left to go but you. You step forth and declare yourself as you did before. The guardian of Scribe's Gate regards you with a still expression. Then she addresses all of you in her formal manner.
The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory.
The lone minstrel glances up at the gate guardian. You have our gratitude, Celeste. But she pays him no heed. Okay, I guess they must have had a falling out since last time. Again, you gain the top of Mount Elodio, from which the downside sprawls before you. You wonder whether one among you shall follow Teasel from this place. And we will end this episode right here, since next time it's another liberation, right? See you guys then.
See ya.
Speaking of ID cards, I found that detective's card, didn't I?
Stab.
With the card. Detective Gumshoe, what can you tell me about this?
Not to be fucking nothing, pal, because your hair is slowly turning into a disgusting shade of blonde. Hey, pal, this is a detective's ID card.